Welcome to Confessions of an SEO. I'm your host, Carolyn Holzman. A few episodes back, I shared what types of recurring segments I'd be doing. I think I called it orientation. I forget the number. I did that so I wouldn't be dragging you all around an SEO topic arena without you knowing what I was doing. Now, as you remember, not all of these are going to be the same, and some that focused on business owners and their SEOs, some are on projects I'm working on, general strategies for how to survive Google updates, and so on. For today, I'll be sharing some of my observations on the new directions I found myself on, and briefly on the most recent Google update that, according to a very special SEO weather tool, indicated that the latest update ended this week on Monday, March 22nd. Okay, now things are happening in my world. Things that as I was poking around in all the potential of them, I realized that what was really new was my belief that these things could be so true and that I could still be in SEO without having to do the grind of the client SEO or deal in the powerlessness of agency work. And here's what I'm thinking has been the difference for me. I think believing something might be possible is like the first step. It doesn't have to necessarily have outside evidence necessarily that it's possible, but I think you have to believe. And you've got, all these things that you believe that might not be accurate. And I believe that I hate doing client SEO because of my past experience with client SEO. And I also know without a doubt that Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, as they say here in Texas, I'll be SEO testing for the rest of my life. It shows me what works. I'm playing in live search environments, which are way outside of those single variable tests, which are very necessary. But these wins in the field are real. And these past 8 months, I've been looking at these two things and asking myself, is there a way to have all the things that I want and minimize the things that I don't, and not only make the revenue I want to make, but make it in the way I want to make it? So here's what I'm finding. However, we can pry just a little crack into what we believe may be the most impossible thing, like we know we really want it, but we believe it's impossible. So, or I guess improbable. I think for me that to just starting to create the life I want, I'm also looking to create the day that I want. The first step on that, I think, is to believe that it's possible. What is it? The audacity of hope. Until relatively recently, I believe that for an SEO, a good one, an unstoppable one that would be, really good at this, you either had to be an agency or work for an agency, or you could go the affiliate route but just be happy with less financial return. Stay on the front lines of SEO and do everything entailed with running an agency, but always removed from the heat of the battle. Not doing what I know makes my heart happy. And I know that's corny, but if you've ever felt a happy heart, you know what I mean. There's a dopamine rush every time I see Google say yes to one of my pages. I see them as like, my babies, and it's a really proud mama moment. And I just don't want me to have a good time. I want our SEO industry to actually be better. And here's what I would call a touchstone in that effort. It would be a great day if I no longer saw anybody who calls them an SEO posting in a Facebook SEO group, I just got a new roofing client. Which keyword should I target? With all respect to go-getters, those who claim that they do SEO, they get a paid client, and they don't already know which keywords they should be targeting. This is incomprehensible to me. It's things like this that make our industry appear untrustworthy, even amongst ourselves. it's fingernails down the chalkboard for me as an SEO, but also as a business person. Okay, that escalated into a rant pretty quickly. Thanks for understanding. I'll get back on topic. Okay. I know what floats my boat. And it wasn't easy to see how I can marry what I want and exclude what I don't. And it looks like I might have called all that into happening. I'm not at liberty to reveal any details, so I'm going to try and share what I think will be most helpful. And yes, that's a truck outside doing something. So what does it mean to be an SEO if you're wanting something more than what you think you have? So for me, I think it was the willingness first to admit that I didn't want to create the thing that everybody was telling me that I should want, whether that was build an agency or go work for somebody else. Frankly, I am completely ruined when it comes to working for someone else. In fact, I'd say in a job situation, I'm a real pain in the ass because I don't know how to stop. Whether it's 5 o'clock or whenever, I seem to build up my own premeditated grievances. If I'm going to build up a business, why wouldn't it be my own? And of course, in the months that have gone by, it isn't easy to say no or not for me. And I think every time I said no, I think what I was really saying was yes to myself, to what felt like a dream, because it wasn't already formed, right? So I'm saying no to something I can see to say yes to something that I know exists out there, but I can't see yet. Yeah, I think you can find meaningful activity in helping businesses earn money, and you can retain the value of your work. You can find a way to work in a more social format with really fun people. This is, like I said, this is more of me reflecting on my own journey and saying, if you feel it in your bones that you want to make your own path, just do it. An SEO I've spoken with, and I'm talking about a really, really solid, good SEO, she is not that confident that she can claim what she really is, a kick-ass SEO, worth every dollar they pay her. Repeatedly, she says things that tell me that she feels she has to settle for what somebody else tells her they'll pay to build their company so they can grow. And I can't think of another profession that is so influential to business and so abused and misunderstood at the same time by even the providers of this amazing knowledge. So I don't know the answer, but I know when I started to listen more to the inside, what was inside of me, as opposed to conform to what all the things that had come before, things shifted. Now here's where I'm going to share an example, and at the same time get you up to date and let you know that we've just come to the end of a Google update that ended this past Monday. It ran from February 8th until March 22nd, and that's a long time. By the way, I do have access to a super special predictive SEO weather tool. And at some point, I'll have a resources page put together, but you know how it is. The shoemaker's children go barefoot. Some of my field experiments this past Monday dropped like a stone. And I ran a diagnostic protocol and found out that I needed to use a certain form of the keyword more frequently in the content. I made the change, and it has stopped dropping and is indeed climbing back up. So that's fun, right? But what I remembered, and this is what I want to remind everybody, what I remembered in the years past, my response would have looked wildly different than now. Previously, I would have freaked. I'd have put on sackcloth and ashes and diminished my ability, and all of this would happen inside of my head. I know we have to care, and I know we have to put in the work. So we have to do both. We have to care and we have to put in the work. And we cannot be hacking our way to ranking if we really want to be the resources our clients need us to be. And bear in mind, I say this as a reformed hacker. So to quote Rachel Maddow, watch this space. Well, that's it for this week's episode. Thanks for listening to Confessions of an SEO. This is Carolyn Holzman, and I will see you in the SERPs.